So I've watched this trailer multiple times, trying to kind of piece together what I think is gonna happen with 5.0 and what we're seeing in the trailer. So I was gonna do a bit of a breakdown and a idea of, or say what I believe, what all of this could mean from looking back at different stories, and then looking back at the Warrior of Darkness storyline from the 3 point whatever, I think it was what, 3.1 to 4, I believe. So we're gonna watch the trailer and talk a little bit about it, and pause it in certain areas where I want to kind of explain my thinking on the trailer. So
Peggy 16.
as we start out, we're walking this kind of barren field here. They're talking about, they're showing you as the archer from the 1.X original trailer. This is a bit of foreshadowing. And basically what I think, why this is coming up is because I think that it's going back to the 1.X story from that trailer. So as we go, play it. He's having flashbacks. What it's called. All these stuff we've done toward the end. They did a flash from the 1.X original trailer. And why I think that's important is the 1.X trailer, you fight the Telephone monster. I can't remember. You fight him and he gets scooped up by the golem.
How many years have come and gone since that day?
And that part right there. How many years have come and gone since that day? So what I think this is talking about, and why they did the flashback from the 1.X trailer, is because this is the instance of that. When you go up in the Gallian ship and then you see Leviathan destroy the Gallian Empire, I think that they're just using that. They're trying to tie in what you saw in 1.X with the new storyline from Aurel Reborn. So basically, I think that was just, they're using that as a symbol, like it's a symbolization of the fall of the Gallian Empire, which you're seeing right here with the war. And what he meant by, what he means is like the fall of the Gallian Empire from when he saw that vision. So how long has it been since that day? I think he's talking about that instance. Because you're seeing war between the Gallians. So this is...
How many years have I waited for this moment?
Waited for this moment. The moment from what he saw in the trailer.
For the one that stood alone against the storm.
Right. Xenos Runes, the fall of the Gallian Empire.
For the one they called.
And
the Warrior of Light.
Okay. So in that part, because at this point we all know that Xenos is taken over by an Ascian, right? Okay. And we all know from the 3.1 to 4 storyline with the Warriors of Darkness is that they won. They purged their world or their shard of darkness. And they did that by killing all of the Ascians. So I'm thinking that maybe the Ascian inhabiting Xenos is the last of the Archons. Right? Basically what that did. Blah blah blah. No light left or so here comes your end. What that is, if you remember from the 1.X trailer, whenever the Gallian Empire fell, right? When Leviathan crushed it, he exploded in a pillar of light, and then all of these monsters shot out all over the world, right? From the pillar of light. So what I think that is, even though in the 1.X trailer, it was, you know, the summons shooting out, because I think that would have worked for what they were trying to originally plan for 1.X. But what I think they're using it in this is to symbolize that once all of the darkness was gone, the world was becoming flooded by light. just like it was from the Warriors of Darkness storyline. What they talked about once they defeated the Ascians and they won, that the world was being engulfed by light. This angel thing and the lion thing from later are servants of Hydra. Just like the monsters that can spread around in the world that you trailer, they have to fight different servants of Hydra. Because it's the world being flooded by light. This part, he's charging at her, attacking it with the axe. Now, if you remember from 3.4 in the storyline, toward the end of the Warriors of Darkness storyline, when he was talking about, oh, I've had enough of this farce, he runs at Minfilia, which is the servant of Hydaelyn, and he's doing the exact same thing, charging him with his axe going, and he goes to strike, but she stops him with the Force, because she's Luke. So that's what I think is kind of foreshadowing.
This tragedy, greater even than the seventh umbral calamity, must be undone. If history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten.
And history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten. What I believe that means is you got to change. You know, history shows you as the great good guy, the warrior of light. So you need to unwrite that, and then have to become the warrior of darkness.
Become what you must.
Become the warrior of light. So become counteract
the warrior of darkness.
So the end of the trailer. To become the warrior of darkness. So I think that this is what you're doing. You're going to have to fight against Hydaelyn to try to set the balance right. Just like from the other warriors of darkness. So the world was flooded by light. Now, they didn't explain maybe what happened, but maybe the same thing happened. Once Hydaelyn and all the darkness was gone, she sent her servants out to engulf the world in light. So that could have been the world was flooded with the monsters of light, or just like they're showing in the trailer here. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to end up defeating the Gallian Empire, and you're going to kill the last Ascian, which is inhabiting the body of Xenos. And then our world is going to start to become engulfed by light. And then we have no choice but to become the warrior of darkness. That's what I think is going to happen. And they foreshadowed it for a while now, I believe. From everything that I've seen, that's what's going to happen. I think it's great because remember they talked about that they're going to need to do a complete rework for Dark Knight. So this is the perfect time to have the Dark Knight as center stage on it, because they're going to do a complete rework for 5.0 for Dark Knight. Plus we get an awesome look at their new armor set and weapon, which looks amazing. Right here. The Dark Knights have always had some pretty cool looking armor sets. I think that sword looks amazing, if nothing else. And that's the end of the trailer. And that's what I believe. That's how I think the story is going to go. I'm going to do another video talking about the things I would just like to see. Changes for this game. And then we'll talk about that in another video, though. So, that's it. Thank you for watching.